Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 8. Lord Viṣṇu slays the king of the demons. Text 29. Viṣvak sphurantaṁ grahaṇāturaṁ harir vyālo yathākhuṁ kuliśa-akṣata-tvacam dvāry ūrum āpatya dadāra līlayā nakhair yathāhiṁ garuḍo mahā-viṣam viṣvak sphurantaṁ grahaṇ-āturam harir vyālo yathākhuṁ kuliśa-akṣata-tvacam ūrum āpatya dadāra līlayā nakhair yathāhiṁ garuḍo mahā-viṣam viṣvak sphurantaṁ grahaṇ-āturam harir vyālo yathākhuṁ kuliśa-akṣata-tvacam dārjurupa umāpatya dadāra līlayā nakhair yathāhiṁ garuḍo mahā-viṣam viṣvak sphurantaṁ grahaṇ-āturam harir vyālo yathākhuṁ kuliśa-akṣata-tvacam dārjurum āpatya dadāra līlayā nakhair yathāhiṁ garuḍo mahā-viṣam Viṣvak, all around, sphurantam, moving his limbs, grahaṇa-āturam, afflicted because of being captured, Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nrisimhadev, vyālaha, a snake, yatha, just as, ākhuṁ, a mouse, kuliśa-akṣata, not cut even by thunderbolt or thrown by Indra. Tvacam, whose skin, dvāry, on the threshold of the door, ūrum, on his thigh, āpatya, placing, dadāra, pierced, līlayā, very easily, nakhair, with the nails, yathā, just as, āhiṁ, a snake, garuḍa, the carrier of Lord Viṣṇu, mahā-viṣam, very venomous. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. As a snake captures a mouse, or Garuda captures a very venomous snake, Lord Nrisimhadev captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of King Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here, there, and all around, very much afflicted at being captured, Lord Nrsimhadev placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs, and in the doorway of the assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hands. Please repeat after me. As a snake captures a mouse, or garuḍa captures a very venomous snake, Lord Nrsimhadev captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of King Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here, there and all around, very much afflicted at being captured, Lord Nrsimhadev placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs, and in the doorway of the assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hand. Nrsimhadev ki jai. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Hiranyakashipu had received from Lord Brahma the benediction that he would not die on the land or in the sky. Therefore, to keep the promise of Lord Brahma intact, Nrsimhadev placed Hiranyakashipu's body on his lap, which was neither land nor sky. Hiranyakashipu received the benediction that he would not die either during the day or at night. Therefore, to keep this promise of Lord Brahma, the Lord killed Hiranyakashipu in the evening, which is the end of the day and the beginning of night, but is neither day nor night. Hiranyakashipu had taken a benediction from Lord Brahma that he would not die from any weapon or be killed by any person, dead or alive. Therefore, just to keep the word of Lord Brahma, Lord Nrsimhadev pierced Hiranyakashipu's body with his nails, which were not weapon and were neither living nor dead. Indeed, the nails can be called dead, but at the same time, they can be said to be alive. To keep intact all of Lord Brahma's benediction, Lord Nrsimhadev paradoxically, but very easily, killed the great demon Hiranyakashipu. So, today is that day when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared, Nrsimha Chaturdasi, the 14th day of the waxing moon. And the background goes like the two gatekeepers of Vaikuntha were cursed by the four Kumaras, Shanak, Sanatan, Sanandan and Sanat Kumar. And they were cursed to lose their right to remain in the spiritual world, but come down to the material world or the mortal world. And so they came down to this earth planet, to this material nature, as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And they became two great demons. And they were so powerful that they defeated everyone. Hiranyaksha, the younger brother, used to go around challenging everybody, all the powerful personalities. And one by one he defeated everyone. Then he approached Varun Dev, the demigod, the controller of the water, and he challenged him to a fight. So So Varundev said that, look, I'm quite old and compared to you, I'm no match. You don't really feel any joy defeating me. Just as by defeating a weak enemy who gets any pleasure. Then he said, then Hiranyaksha asked, so tell me who is my right match. He said, your right match is Hari. Where can I find Hari? He said, actually Hari is actually present everywhere, but only some fortunate souls can get to see him. So someday if you become fortunate enough, you'll be able to see him. So at that time he saw that a personality, a very strange looking personality, a boar, but gigantic boar, so big that it was holding the earth planet on his tusk and rising up from the lower region. Actually what happened is Hiranyaksha took away all the gold from the earth. He was so fond of gold that he took all the gold away from earth. And the gold actually maintains the equilibrium or the ability for earth planet to float or remain on the orbit. So when all the gold was taken away, the earth planet fell into the nether region, lower region. And it was at that time the Lord was actually rescuing the earth planet, assumed in the form of a boar. Bashoti Darshana Shikhare, it has been described this way. Bashanti Darshana Shikhare Dharani Tava Lagna Shoshini Kalanko Kaleva Nimagna Keshava Dhrita Shukara Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari. In order to rescue the earth from the lower region, the Lord assumed the form of a boar, pig, and placing the earth on his tusks. The boars have two tusks coming out from the lower part of their chin. And so the earth was placed on there. So seeing that, Hiranyaksha became very upset. Without his permission, someone is picking up the earth planet, which he caused to fall there in the lower region. So he challenged him to a fight. He immediately attacked him. So the Lord placed the earth planet on the orbit and started to fight. Generally, the condition of fighting is what kind of weapon one has, the opponent also takes up the same kind of weapon. So Hiranyaksha had a club in his hand, mess, gada. So the Lord also, Parahadeva also picked up called a mess. His mess is called Kaumudaki. So Kaumudaki, as soon as the Lord called, Kaumudaki immediately appeared. In the spiritual world, everyone is a person. Even the club is a person of the Lord. A flute is a person. Pillow is a person. Bed is a person. So that is the spiritual world. Everything is personal. In the material nature, only living entities are person. Otherwise, everything is inert. So a terrible fight ensued between these two personalities, Hiranyaksha and Varahadev. And the demigods were very much afflicted by the atrocities of Hiranyaksha. So they thought that maybe the Lord has appeared, because who could fight with him like that? Because they all were the most powerful individuals in the universe, and they all had been so easily defeated by Hiranyaksha. And this personality is fighting with such valor, with such strength, that Hiranyaksha is having tough time, because both of them are fighting terribly. So they started to watch the fight. And they started to pray to the Lord. So at that time, during that fight, the Hiranyaksha hit the mess of the Lord so hard that his mess fell off his hand. The fight was taking place in the space, so the mess fell off. And so the demigods became very much in anxiety. And they exclaimed, "Oh, now what will happen?" And they knew that this was the Lord, so they said, "My Lord, please don't play with him anymore. Kill him, please." Because in anxiety, our life air has almost come to our throat, and it can leave any moment. So please, before we die, kill him. So at that time, Varahadev, the Lord in the form of a boar, with his left hand just slapped Hiranyaksha. And that was good enough for Hiranyaksha. From the space, reeling, losing his life, his body fell. And naturally all the demigods started to rejoice in jubilation. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. And so the news reached the family. Hiranyaksha's and Hiranyakashipu's father is Kashyapa, great sage. And he's a Brahma's son. And the mother is Diti. So naturally, the father was not even there. But all the family members started to lament due to his death. At that time, Hiranyakashipu, the elder brother, he gave them some very nice advice about the temporary nature of this material life. That everything ever, jatasya hi dhruvam mrittur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. One who is born must die. And after all, the soul is imperishable. All kinds of, you can see, even though he was a demon, he had such knowledge. But the problem is, he did not accept, he didn't understand the personality of Godhead and accept his authority. So that's how we can see, just being spiritual is not enough. To be submissive to the Lord is the ultimate spiritual situation. There are impersonalists. Like here you can see Hiranyakashipu. Like he had the knowledge about the spiritual world. But he did not accept the supreme spiritual personality. His knowledge was up to the Brahma Jyoti, the spiritual energy, the spiritual light, which is the cause of creation. So that is how we can see that there are many impersonalists and they appear to be spiritual. But they also can be like Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Impersonal, not accepting the Lord's authority. not accepting that the Lord is a person. So impersonal spiritualist is not enough. One has to be a personal spiritualist. Accept the authority of the Lord as a person and surrender to Him. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. That is the ultimate spiritual situation. So Hiranyakashipu gave them very nice advice to his mother and other members of the family, like Hiranyaksha's wife and children. And then he decided to take revenge. His brother has been killed by Hari. Therefore, we must take revenge. Kill Hari. See, this is the demoniac attitude. Not accept the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but become inimical and try to kill him. But he realized that his brother was very powerful, but Hari killed him. Therefore, in order to fight with Hari, he has to become equally powerful or more powerful. So how to become equally powerful or more powerful? The only way he could do that is by being immortal. If he could become immortal, then nobody could kill him, nobody could defeat him. So he went to the Mandar mountain, and there, standing on top of the mountain, he started to perform his austerity, to invoke the mercy or favor of Lord Brahma. So his understanding was Brahma is the supreme, because in the universe Brahma is the Supreme Personality, he is the greatest. And so he thought that by pleasing Brahma, he will become immortal. And in order to win the favor of Brahma, he started to perform austerities, meditating on Lord Brahma. And the way he was performing his austerity is just standing on the toe of his left foot. Not only he was standing on one leg, but he was standing on the toe of his leg. And with his hands raised upwards, he was just standing there, motionless. And he was standing for so long that the ants started to eat up his body and created an anthill around his body. The ants not only eat up his skin and flesh and fat, the ants started to they ate up his intestines, lungs, heart, brains, everything was eaten up. It was just a skeleton standing there. And his life was preserved in his bone marrow. Generally, the soul is situated in the region of the heart for ordinary living entities. But he was such a powerful person that his heart also was eaten up. But still he was not affected by that. And his soul was preserved with his life here in the bone marrow, inside the bone. And this austerity caused such severe heat that heat reached even the higher planetary system, heavenly planets. And it was so hot that they couldn't stay there. So they started to pray to the Lord, please do something. As there is to Brahma, please, this personality is performing such severe austerity. So please, in order to please you and win your favor, please do something for him so that he will stop this austerity. So then Brahma came, and Brahma sprinkled some water from his water pot, chanting some mantra, and Hiranyakashipu's body became revived. This is how powerful these personalities are. And not only he got a body back, but now due to his austerity, his body became extremely strong and extremely handsome. These demons are not ugly looking as they are portrayed often. Some of the demons are very handsome. Hiranyakashipu was a very handsome person actually. Ravana was very handsome. So Brahma came and asked Hiranyakashipu, why are you performing such severe austerity? What do you want? Please make me immortal. Brahma said, look, I can't make you immortal. Even I die. So how can I make you immortal? At the end of my tenure, I also have to leave my body. So then Hiranyakashipu, very intelligent person actually. So he said, okay, you won't make me immortal, but I will become immortal. So please give me the benediction that I won't be killed by any demigod or demon or human being or animal or reptile and so forth. He covered all the living entities. Brahma said, that benediction I can give you. So, tathastu, let it be. Okay, you won't be killed by any demigod or demon or rakshasa, gandharva, kindara. So every kind of creatures were covered. Please give me the benediction that I won't be killed by any weapon. Brahma said, fine, granted. Please give me the benediction that I will not be killed during the day or night. Please give me the benediction that I won't be killed by anything dead or alive. Please give me the benediction that I won't be killed inside the house or outside the house. I won't be killed on the space, on the sky or on the land. So Brahma granted all this benediction, and the result is Hiranyakashipu became practically immortal. And he started to plunder the whole universe. Now, in the meantime, Hiranyakashipu received a son. When Hiranyakashipu went to perform austerities, the demigods plundered his kingdom. And then they found that his wife was pregnant. So they thought that another demon is in the womb. So we'll wait till she gives birth to the demon, to the child, and then we'll kill him. Because in the Vedic culture, the women are not tortured or killed. So they took her into captivity and they were taking her. At that time, Narad Muni came there. He said, why are you torturing a woman like that? He said, the demigod says she is the wife of a demon, Hiranyakashipu. And she is pregnant, so we are carrying her, taking her, so that when the child, the demon that is in her womb, when he is born, we will take care of him. Take care of him in the sense, kill him. So Narad said, no. The child in her womb is a great devotee. There is nothing to be afraid of him. He is a great devotee. So they left Kayatu, Hiranyakashipu's wife, and so she fell at Narad Muni's feet. Please I don't have any place to go. So Narad Muni said, okay, you can stay in my ashram. So she was staying in the ashram of Narad Muni. Narad Muni gave her the benediction, and until her husband came back, the child in her womb will not be born. The child in the womb will stay. And Narad Muni used to instruct her about spiritual knowledge, about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His wonderful pastimes and activities. So, sitting in the womb of the mother, the child used to listen to the instructions of Narad Muni. So, and then when Hiranyakashipu came back, Narad Muni returned his wife back to the kingdom. And then the child was born, and he was named Prahlad. Prahlad, which means the giver of great joy. But instead of giving great joy, the son became the cause of anxiety to the father. The child, from his birth, or even before his birth, he was a devotee of the Lord by mercy of Narad Muni. He heard all the instructions that Narad Muni gave. And when he was 5 years old, he was put into the custody of the teachers, 2 sons of Shukracharya, the guru of the demons. So he had 2 sons, Shanda and Amarka. So they were teaching all the demoniac children. So what is the demoniac education? Demoniac education is materialistic education, how to exploit the material nature. So they were teaching them. But during the break, Prahlad used to take these boys and he used to tell them about Krishna and chant the holy name and dance with them. The teachers didn't know about that, but that's what the activities of Prahlad. Then Prahlad, during the summer vacation, went to his father's house during the school holiday. So the father, Hiranyakashipu, very affectionately took the boy, placed him on his lap and asked, my dear son, what have you been learning in the school of your, what is the most important thing that you have been learning or you have learned? And he said, the most important thing that I learned is that Hari is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to become His devotee is the ultimate goal of life. Hearing that, he just threw the child out of his lap. Hari is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and surrendering to Him is the ultimate goal of life. To be surrendered to my arch enemy, you think is the goal of your life. And then he called the teachers. What kind of education are you giving him? The teachers, trembling with fear, said, we are teaching him all the important materialistic educations, diplomacy, politics, economics, and so forth. Then where did he learn all this? To be submissive to Hari is the goal of life. He said, we don't know. Please believe us that we are not teaching him that. Maybe some demigods in disguise are coming and giving him all these wrong educations. He's spoiling this child. Anyway, be very careful that nothing comes, and give them some very nice education. And so he went back to school again. And after some time, when he went home, Prahlad So Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, so what did you learn? He repeated the same thing. Hari is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hiranyakashipu couldn't tolerate that. He said, he called his bodyguards, kill this child. And his reasoning was that if, just as a poisonous tree can ruin the whole garden, an undesirable member of the family can destroy the whole family. Therefore, kill him. So immediately these bodyguards, extremely powerful demons, they unsheathed their weapons and attacked him to cut him off to pieces. But surprisingly, before their weapons could even touch him, they broke into pieces. None of these, their weapons that could even fight with the demigods, effective in the demigods, could not do nothing to this child. So Hiranyakashipu then ordered, okay, put him in the pit of the venomous snakes. Let the snakes take care of him. And he was put into the pit of the venomous snakes. The snakes were biting him. Nothing happened to him. Rather, they started to cry to Hiranyakashipu that our fangs are broken, our sacks are dry, but nothing is happening to this child. Then Hiranyakashipu decided to light a mountainous fire with mountainous logs, huge pile of logs, and a huge fire was built, and to throw the child into that fire. Nothing happened. Decided to throw him from the cliff of a mountain. Nothing happened. Then finally, after making all kinds of endeavor to kill him, finally it was decided that throw him in the ocean and bury him with the mountains' peaks. So they threw him in the ocean and they broke all these peaks of the mountain and through the mountain peaks to bury him underwater. Nothing happened. As if those mountain peaks were like cotton swabs. He just pushed them aside and came out. So at that time Hiranyakashipu asked, where are you getting all this power from? So I'm getting this power, if at all it is power, I'm getting it from the one who is the source of all power. Who is that? Hari. Where is your Hari? He's everywhere. Is he in this pillar? He's everywhere. Yes, he's there also. Then Hiranyakashipu, just with his fist, he just struck the pillar. The pillar broke. But then he heard a terrible sound, and he saw a strange creature coming out of that, whose head was like that of a lion and the body of a man. And he immediately attacked. And a terrible fight ensued. And finally, as it has been described, the Lord caught him. And when he caught him, he started to writhe, and as it has been described, as Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here, there and all around, very much afflicted and being captured, the Lord blessed him on his lap. And then, with his nails, he just tore open his abdomen. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringam. Bhringam means a wasp. You know, the body of a wasp is very tender, right? And just as a child can pierce the body of a wasp, the Lord tore open his body. The body that was even unaffected by him, and his skin couldn't be touched by the thunder. It was so powerful, such a powerful body. That body was tore open with his abdomen. I mean, by the Lord tore open his abdomen with his nails. And now Prabhupada is also reminding us, do you remember the benedictions that he had? No man, no animal, would be able to kill him. Therefore he assumed a form with the head of a lion and the body of a man. Neither an animal nor a man. How do you identify him? Animal or man? No. He would not be killed by any weapon. Nakham-ātputa shringam. Nails. It's not a weapon. Just with his nails, he tore open his abdomen. And also nothing, as Prabhupada's point reminding us, dead or alive. The nails, are they dead or alive? Apparently they're dead, but still they're alive. They won't be killed during the day or night. Killed him when it was neither day nor night. Evening, twilight. Is it day or night? He won't be killed on the sky or on the land. He placed him on his lap, which is neither the sky nor the land. He would not be killed inside the house or outside the house. So he the Lord sat at the doorway of the assembly hall, which is neither inside the house or outside the house. So although Hiranyakashipu succeeded in outsmarting Brahma, but he could not outsmart the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one can outsmart the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is the purpose of all these pastimes of the Lord? The purpose of all these pastimes is to teach us a lesson. Teach us a lesson. What is the lesson? Surrender unto Him. If you defy Him, you can never win, no matter how powerful you are. I mean, you can't imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was. He defeated the demigods. The demigods, what they're doing, the demigods are controlling all the affairs of this material nature. How powerful they are. They're controlling, like Varun Dev is controlling the air, water. And we saw how powerful. We can't imagine how powerful. We have seen just one wave, tsunami, can cause such a havoc. So what to speak of the controller of the water? If he makes the water level rise by a few feet, the whole civilization will be lost. If the ocean water rises a few feet, everywhere will go there our cities and all these structures. The wind, like how powerful we see how these simple arrangements, simple happenings of the wind, tornadoes, cyclones, and who is controlling them? Pavandev. And could we see them? No. They're just controlling these things far beyond our perception. Now those personalities were defeated by Hiranyakashipu. He took over the control of the heavenly planet. And that personality was killed so easily. Now for the Lord to kill somebody, does he need to make any endeavor? No. The personality who can say, let there be light, and there was light. Like he can jolly well say, let him die, and he will immediately be dead. So that is how powerful he is. But he is performing these pastimes simply to teach us a very simple lesson. Surrender unto him. Become submissive unto him and see what happens. And if you want to defy him, if you want to challenge him, if you want to fight with him, okay, good luck. Perform austerities like Hiranyakashipu and still he could not win. Now the question is, are these real? These descriptions, are these descriptions are real or they are fairy tales? Huh? Real. If we think these are fairy tales, then you have to give real credit to the writer. Can you imagine what a fantastic story he wrote? Who could ever think of things like that, becoming immortal in this, won't be killed by anybody, won't be killed by any weapon, won't be killed at the sky. And then to counter that, like in spite of having all these benedictions, still counter that, okay, fine. Can you imagine what kind of intelligence and imagination one will need to write a story like that? But that's how wonderful the Lord's activities are. Now the simple question is, should we accept him or should we reject him? Those who accept him, they can see that everything becomes so easy, everything becomes so simple, everything becomes so wonderful. And those who don't want to accept him, how unfortunate they become. They live their life in acute anxiety. They struggle so hard, still they remain dissatisfied. They try to make so many wonderful arrangements for their comfort, but everything falls apart. One thing I notice in America especially, wherever we go, most of the time people say, like the other day I was in Lowe's, and the lady who was dealing with me to make some sort of Lowe's special card. And it took time. And she was telling me, you look so peaceful. And I was talking to her and she was doing the calculation and I was just doing the calculation in my mind. And she was telling that, my brain doesn't work. And you are so sharp, you are so intelligent. And the main thing that they say that you look so happy, you look so peaceful. Isn't that the situation that we are in? People notice that we are we look very peaceful, very calm, very composed. Whereas the people, those who are struggling in this material nature, they're always in so much anxiety. Not that we are trying to blow our own trumpet, but we are just, these are the things that people are observing. So, why are you so peaceful? Yes, you say something, Chaitanya Charu? Why are you so peaceful?
We have taken shelter of the
Very good. We have taken shelter of
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna. Who is he?
Supreme Personality of Godhead.
What can he do?
Anything and everything.
So when you have taken shelter of somebody who has so much, will you have any anxiety? When you were a child, did you have any anxiety? No. Why not? Because you knew that your parents were there to take care of you. Therefore, you didn't have any anxiety. The trouble starts when you grow up and we can't really rely upon our parents. But when you find out that there is a personality who is taking care of everything, now if I take shelter of him, I don't have to worry about anything. And you can see, like, is Nrsingadev real? Yes. So many instances have been proven. Like, often I think of a couple of instances. It was in Germany, in Hamburg. In Hamburg city, there is an area which is quite crowded, and it's not a very nice area actually, nightlife. And the name of the area is St. Pauli. Have you ever been there? You know that? And the Karipavan. Yeah. So devotees used to go there and do kirtan at night sometimes. And Hamburg is a big port, and that area, anyway, so very crowded and a lot of people, but they all are trying to enjoy. And then they were chanting the kirtan. And so all of a sudden they saw that huge, big-bodied person is rushing towards them as if he is going to hit them. And they didn't know what to do, where to go. Then all of a sudden, the leader said that he started to chant, Namaste, Namaste. Started to offer his prayers to, and everybody started also to chant Nrsinga prayer. And then all of a sudden they saw that this person was coming, charging towards them, running, and his body just went up and then fell on the ground. And people gathered there, paramedics came, and the paramedics just declared that he had a massive heart attack. Was it a massive? Okay, massive heart attack. But what is the cause of that massive heart attack? And another time, one girl was distributing books, and it was a kind of a lonely kind of area, and one man just was charging towards her, and she didn't know where to go, like, she was kind of cornered. And she started to pray to Lord Nrsingadev. And something happened. The man just turned around and walked away. Should I tell you about my personal experience? You see, it was in Delhi. I gave my passport to somebody, to the passport office for renewing. And the passport officer was giving me a lot of trouble, asking me to come again. And like I could see that he was just trying to give me excuses not to give me the passport. And the next day is my flight to America. So, and that day also, that person who was dealing with the passport, started to cause me the problem. And internally I just prayed to Lord Viṣṇu. And at that time the higher officer came and saw me dressed in sadhu. So he asked Swamiji, how are you? What do you want? What's happening? And then I told him that this person, I gave my passport for renewal. It was supposed to be given within 3 days. And he is making me run around for so long. And this person started to chastise him very heavily. Why are you doing this to a sadhu? Give him his passport right away. So he immediately went. Now, are these accidental happening? So this is how the Lord reciprocates. So I always tell people, okay, fine, don't believe what we are seeing. Just try it out yourself. See what happens. See what happens. Whatever we may say, maybe just imagination, maybe just accidental happening. But why don't you try it out? Chant the holy name of the Lord and pray to the Lord and see what happens. And that happened to us also. We were often, initially, many of us didn't believe in that, isn't it? Not that overnight we just became devotees, we also had to go through various challenges before we surrendered. And now that we surrendered, we are getting the results. Okay, Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any question? You want to say something, Kalakanta Prabhu?
Well, just to thank you for all your guidance. Actually, this class is very nice. I have experienced many things you have said in your presence. Like when the GBC asked me to do this service across the world, and I looked at the whole world and looked at me, a simple grihasta without any disciple, without any money, how am I going to do this service? And when I decided internally that, okay, I'll do this with Prabhupada, even if I have to go around and do different things, but let's see. And that's exactly when you said, okay, I'd like to help you. So I made an internal decision that I'll offer the service and then to my rescue came. So I experienced the surrender.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes?
Question from Veera Prakash Das, Ujjain. How can I become more submissive to Lord? Sometimes it seems that I have no surrender. I become restless. How can I be fixed in my Krishna consciousness?
Stop being restless and surrender. Veera Prakash, how can I surrender? Surrender. Surrender means give up all your independent endeavors. Just accept Him, surrender, and depend upon Him, and at the same time, try your best to serve Him, try your best to please Him. Not that I surrender and I go to bed, then go to sleep. Surrender. Wake up only at the time of prasada. That's not surrender. Surrender means we try to please Him. Any other question? Do you have a question? No? Do you have a question?
No.
Are also? Krishna Priya, what about you?
No.
So all of you have surrendered. Huh? Okay. Hare Krishna. What about you? Yeah, Neha is very surrendered. Thank you. What about you, Soumya?
I'm gonna share and say all questions. Thank you.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Archana?
When you were saying, I was just thinking of Sankirtan yesterday, when there was so much crowd, and you feel a bit intimidated because you feel them so powerful, like you know what they are doing, they are so confident, and you are still, you are sometimes scared, of course. And and this man was coming, he's quite, he looked quite gentleman. And in the beginning he was saying like, no, I'm not interested in things. And I told him that, but this message comes from India, very ancient culture. And he said, India? Oh, I have some co-workers, Indian, but they never share with me their faith. so because of that, he was like, and so you are saying we should pray that.
Good. Yeah. Yes, unfortunately, the Indians have forgotten their own culture. Therefore, one Indian had to come to America and teach the Americans about the Indian culture and take them to India and show them that, look, you rascals, you don't want to accept it, but these people have accepted it. Why did they accept it? Aren't you going to reconsider? Anyway, thank you. Vaikuntha Prabhu, do you want to say something?
Thank you, Maharaj. It's very nice. Really, it's great.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today Shyam Mohan is leaving.